If you are getting paid by the hour, you are trapped in the ultimate scam. It does not matter if you make $20 or $200 an hour. You are still renting out your life force. You have a biological ceiling. You have to sleep. And the absolute second you stop working, your income drops to zero. Today, we expose the time trap. We will show you how to completely decouple your time from your money and build digital leverage that pays you while you sleep. Let us start with a very painful truth. A high salary is not financial freedom. A high salary is just a comfortable cage. Society has convinced you that the ultimate goal in life is to climb the corporate ladder and secure a massive paycheck. You go to a prestigious university, you get a respectable degree, you land a senior position at a highly profitable tech company or a massive corporation. You are making $100,000 or even $200,000 a year. Your friends are impressed. Your parents are incredibly proud. You buy a nice car. You live in a beautiful apartment. You think you have finally won the game. But you have not won anything. You are completely trapped. You are still a prisoner of the clock. When you accept a salary, you are making a devastating financial trade. You are selling your absolute most valuable resource at a massive bulk discount. Your employer is not paying you what you are actually worth. They are paying you the absolute minimum amount required to keep you from quitting. Think about how a business actually operates. A business exists to generate profit. If your employer pays you $10,000 a month, it is only because the systems you build, the code you write, or the deals you close are generating $50,000 or $100,000 a month for the company. They capture the spread. They take all of the asymmetric upside. And what do you get? You get a fixed, linear, predictable paycheck. You are taking all of the linear risk of trading your limited time, while the founders and the shareholders take all of the exponential reward. You might think you are a highly respected professional, but to the system, you are just a premium biological machine. You are a biological machine that requires constant maintenance, and you are renting out your life force by the hour. The golden handcuffs are incredibly deceptive. The more money you make linearly, the more expensive your lifestyle becomes. You upgrade your house. You take more expensive vacations. You send your children to expensive schools. Now, you cannot afford to stop working. You are terrified of losing your job because your entire life is completely dependent on that next direct deposit. You have built a life of luxury, but you have absolutely zero leverage. If you stop typing on your keyboard tomorrow, your income drops to absolute zero. If you get sick, your income stops. If you want to take a 6-month break to travel or recover, your income stops. You are entirely dependent on someone else giving you permission to earn a living. You do not own the machine, you just operate it. This is why a high salary is the ultimate trap. It pays you just enough to forget about your dreams. It makes you comfortable enough to stop fighting for true independence. You get addicted to the security of the bi-weekly paycheck. But true wealth is not about how much cash you can generate in a month by exhausting yourself. True wealth is about disconnecting your inputs from your outputs. It is about owning equity. It is about building assets that earn money while you are not even in the room. As long as you are trading your precious hours for dollars, you are losing the game of wealth. You must realize that you are in a cage, and the first step to escaping the cage is admitting that the door is locked from the inside. You cannot work 25 hours a day. Your wealth is completely capped by your biology. If you are trading time for money, you are fighting a war against the laws of physics, and physics always wins. The universe gives every single human being on this planet the exact same 24 hours. But you are a living organism. You require massive amounts of downtime just to survive. You have to sleep for at least 7 or 8 hours. You have to eat. You have to maintain your physical machine. You have to drop to the floor and do your 100 push-ups just to keep your body from completely falling apart under stress. You have to be a present father. You have to spend actual quality time with your family. By the time you finish doing all the mandatory human maintenance, you only have a handful of hours left to actually produce value. Let us do the brutal math. Even if you are an incredibly disciplined professional, even if you push yourself to the absolute limit and grind for 12 hours a day, you will eventually hit a hard, unbreakable wall. You physically cannot type any faster. You cannot attend any more meetings. Your brain runs out of glucose and your cognitive function collapses. You simply cannot scale your physical presence. If your income is directly tied to the exact number of hours you sit staring at a monitor, your financial growth is trapped inside a biological prison. This is the fundamental flaw of the hourly worker. You are trying to build infinite wealth using a strictly finite resource. It is mathematically impossible. A premium consultant or a senior engineer who charges $1,000 an hour is still completely trapped in this system. If they turn off their phone and go on a vacation, they make exactly $0. If they get sick, they make $0. They might be highly paid, but their income is incredibly fragile. The wealthy mind absolutely refuses to play this biological game. They understand that their own personal labor is the absolute worst way to create scale. You are the bottleneck in your own life. Your need for sleep is the bottleneck. Your physical exhaustion is the bottleneck. To become truly wealthy, you must remove your physical body from the earning equation entirely. You have to build systems that do not need to sleep. You need to create digital assets that do not get tired, do not need a weekend off, and never ask for a vacation. You have to replace your biological effort with permissionless leverage. You have to accept the absolute reality of your human limits. If you do not completely decouple your earning potential from your physical body, you are guaranteeing that you will have to work until the absolute last day of your life. Code and media do not sleep, they do not complain, and they work completely for free. For thousands of years, there were only 2 ways to gain leverage. You either needed capital or you needed labor. You needed someone to give you a massive loan, or you needed to hire a large group of people to work for you. Both of these traditional forms of leverage require permission. You have to convince a bank to fund your vision. You have to convince people to follow your orders. But we are living in a brand new economic reality. Today, the highest forms of leverage require absolutely zero permission. Naval Ravikant calls this the great equalizer. You do not need anyone to give you a green light to write code or create media. A single developer can sit down in a quiet room with nothing but a laptop and build a highly complex back-end system. You can architect a fault-tolerant microservice. You can elegantly implement a state machine directly in your database using a deferred execution pattern to permanently resolve race conditions. You write that brilliant piece of architecture exactly one time, but once it is deployed, it seamlessly processes 1,000 product codes every single day without you ever lifting a finger again. It scales infinitely. It does not ask you for a coffee break. It does not demand a raise. It just executes flawlessly while you are sleeping, while you are at the gym, or while you are playing virtual reality games. That is the true power of code. Media works the exact same way. You can sit down and record an educational video. You spend a few hours editing and publishing it to the internet. That piece of media is now a digital clone of your brain. It goes out into the world and works for you 24 hours a day. It can be watched by 100 people or 100,000 people. The cost of replicating that digital asset is absolute zero. This is how you completely shatter your biological ceiling. You stop relying on your physical body to produce value. You transfer your specific intelligence into software and content. These digital machines become an army of highly efficient robots working tirelessly on your behalf. They do not need your physical presence to generate massive returns. If you want to escape the trap of selling your time, you must stop operating machines and start building them. You must learn to speak the language of permissionless leverage. Let us define the exact difference. Operators look at metrics. Owners build machines. Right now, you are probably acting like an operator. An operator is someone who shows up, clocks in, and manages a process that someone else created. You fix the bugs, you answer the tickets, you monitor the servers. You are an incredibly valuable employee, but you do not own the underlying system. You are just keeping the engine running so the founder can get rich. The owner is the person who built the engine. The owner does not care how many hours you spent fixing a bug. The owner only cares that the machine is generating profit. If you want to build absolute wealth, you have to completely kill your operator mindset. You have to stop selling your ability to manage a repetitive process and start owning the final result. Let us look at a real technical example. If you are a brilliant back-end developer, you can spend your entire life working for a massive tech corporation. You will make a great salary, but you are just operating their machine. Now, imagine you take that exact same specific knowledge and you use it to build your own automated trading architecture. Or you build a multi-tenant microservice that solves a painful problem for a highly specific niche industry. You build the core system exactly one time, you deploy it to the internet, and then you walk away. You put on your virtual reality headset, you go to the gym and do your workout, you spend time with your family. While you are out living your actual life, that digital system is autonomously executing trades or processing thousands of client tokens. It is generating real equity. You have officially transitioned from the person turning the wrench to the person who actually owns the factory. This transition is incredibly difficult because it is entirely mental. It requires you to stop looking for a safe corporate harbor where an employer takes all the risk and guarantees your bi-weekly paycheck. You have to take the risk of building an asset that might completely fail, but you take that risk because the upside of building an asset that succeeds is absolute financial freedom.
You must stop asking your manager how much you will get paid per hour. You must start asking yourself how much of the final asset you actually own. To escape the time trap forever, you have to fundamentally change how you view your own identity in the marketplace. You must productize yourself.
This is the single most powerful concept in Naval Ravikant's entire philosophy of wealth. It has two distinct parts: productize, which means building scalable leverage, and yourself, which means finding your absolute specific knowledge. Let us talk about the yourself part first. From the moment you are born, the system tries to turn you into a highly replaceable commodity. The traditional education system is explicitly designed to produce identical workers who can follow identical instructions on an assembly line. If you learn the exact same basic programming languages, study the exact same standard frameworks, and read the exact same corporate training manuals as 10,000 other people, you are entirely replaceable. And if you are replaceable, the market will relentlessly punish you. The market will only pay you the absolute minimum amount required to keep you functioning. You will be completely forced to compete on price, which means you will always be trading your precious hours for less and less money. To permanently escape this brutal competition, you must become completely authentic. No one in the world can compete with you on being you. You have to find your specific knowledge. This is the highly technical or deeply creative skill that feels like absolute play to you, but looks like agonizing, exhausting work to absolutely everybody else. It is the complex problem you can spend hours thinking about without ever feeling drained. Maybe your specific knowledge is breaking down deeply philosophical concepts and translating them perfectly for a completely new demographic. Maybe it is the rare ability to sit in a quiet room and relentlessly optimize the back-end architecture for an automated algorithmic trading system until it executes flawlessly. While other software developers are stressed out and burning out from the sheer complexity of the data, you are actually energized by it. You cannot go to a standard university to learn your specific knowledge. If it can be easily taught in a structured classroom, it can be instantly outsourced to a cheaper worker or entirely replaced by artificial intelligence. Once you figure out what your specific knowledge actually is, you must execute the second half of the equation. You have to productize it. You cannot just keep this brilliant obsession locked safely inside your head. You cannot just use it to impress a middle manager and secure a tiny, linear annual bonus. You must package your unique, weird obsession into a massively scalable format. You combine your specific knowledge with the absolute permissionless leverage of the digital age. You write the specific code. You build the automated software. You record the evergreen media. You construct a digital machine that delivers your deeply unique value to the entire world at an infinite scale. You are no longer just a senior developer sitting at a desk. You are no longer just an employee clocking in for 8 hours a day. You have become a completely unique digital product. When you successfully productize yourself, you completely destroy the competition. You create an absolute monopoly of one. The global market cannot replace you because there is absolutely no one else on Earth who can do exactly what you do in the exact way you do it. You dictate your own price. You completely control your own schedule. And most importantly, you permanently decouple your financial destiny from the ticking of a clock. Here is the ultimate exit protocol. If your income depends entirely on your time, you have already lost the game. But you cannot simply walk into your manager's office tomorrow morning and quit your job. That is a terrible strategy. Financial panic absolutely destroys your ability to make rational, long-term decisions. Your corporate job is not the enemy right now. It is simply a financial tool. You must use your current salary to aggressively fund your own escape. You use your day job to pay for your living expenses, while you use your nights and your weekends to quietly build your digital leverage. Stop coming home and numbing your brain with endless digital entertainment. Reclaim your evenings. Reclaim your weekends. Channel all of that wasted energy into building your scalable assets. Write the code. Record the media. Build the automated systems. You are actively constructing a digital lifeboat. It will take time. It will take brutal discipline. You will be tired. But you are trading temporary exhaustion for permanent financial freedom. You are trading linear labor for asymmetric wealth. The transition from an operator to an owner is the hardest mental shift you will ever make. But on the other side of that struggle is a life where you never have to ask another human being for permission to control your own schedule. If this philosophy just shifted your perspective, hit the like button right now so the algorithm can push this video to other builders who are currently trapped in the system. Subscribe to the channel to keep upgrading your mental models, and before you click away, leave a comment below. What is one completely useless, time-wasting task that you are going to permanently eliminate from your daily schedule tonight? I read every single comment. Thank you for watching, and start building your leverage today.